Hi, for today's teardown, you or you? You are both the same thing. You are almost vintage, you are more modern. You are more or less working and I can demonstrate what you do, while you are dead in two ways. So I guess today it will be your turn, because there will be the demo in the video, and later, next week maybe, it will be your turn. Okay, like that? So, we have here French-made Essilor brand Axil Francofocometer. So this device is used by opticians to measure characteristics of eyeglass lenses, find their optical center and mark them prior to cutting to fit in the eyeglasses frame. It is a standalone device, no computer connection or anything. So how it works, we have this top part here where you fit your eyeglasses or lens. With adjustment, you have two kind of adjustments here that will do a pattern in this area, and here at the bottom liquid crystal display showing the characteristics measured, and a printer option to print with 3 pens here with and ink at the back, 3 dots on the lens to guide for cutting the lens. So this one is a quite old device, I guess from the 90s. We will try to find out. It is actually all manual, no computer action. It looks like the movement of the buttons here. You will do what you need in the screen here, the display, which is just an optical display, and you will have feedback with potentiometers or something, giving you the measurements, something like that. The side, you can see it is a quite big device, more than 40 centimeters in height. Quite design like this, in 2 colors, cream. On the back, just IEC plug, 2 fuses, switch, access to the light source, and on the bottom, big metal cover with access to 2 deep switches. One of them is for enabling calibration mode that we will try out. But for now, demonstration of the thing. So if I take a pair of old eyeglasses, clean them a little bit maybe, I put them here. So there is a part here which is latched like this. I will show you it in zoom mode later on. You place it like this. 3 rubber caps here will not damage your lens, but the other side we may be missing some rubber part. And I turn on the device. Actually, there is things happening here, so I will cut out my light and zoom on this part while I play with buttons. Okay, so you have this cross pattern in green on the display. The left button will turn it and move the axis counter here. We might in fact have a problem at this level with the device, because first I cannot turn completely, it seems. It is quite hard, and I was expecting to get the 0 measurement while the cross is like that or this, but it does not happen. So maybe we have a bad offset here, something is wrong and needs to be recalibrated. So if I move the eyeglasses around left and right, you can see it will move the cross around here. So I guess, I am not an optician, but I guess you want to center it like this. And with the other button, you want to find the better possible focus. It will give you the measurement of your lens. You can change the mode with the button here at the top between sphere and cylinder, apparently, to measure your cylinder, but here we have no, it seems. Oh, it is something you need to do with the other button, I am not even sure, no. And when you are done measuring your lens and finding your optical center, what you do, you press print, and it will do like this, an imprint of 3 dots on the eyeglass, but the ink is dry, so it will not do anything anymore. Okay, it is basically how it works. And if I move the micro switch on the bottom, it will give me the software version and enable calibration with calibrated lens. Apparently you need to calibrate your device. You are in calibration mode, yes, so I need a special lens with known characteristics, obviously, that will put in here. And then with some button action here, you will be able to calibrate your device and save calibration mode for later use. Okay. A little bit more of the action here at the top for you. So this is a lens retainer piece, latch like this with a linear bearing, apparently, quite nice. That will go like this, and the print will lower this part here, and at the back here you have your ink pad that it is supposed to touch sometimes to re-ink the 3 little pens. It is all. We have some optical piece here but no adjustment, and one other light piece here. So if I understand correctly the device, we have a light source at the back, a bulb that is shining light here at the top. The light is the light here, it is shining here. There is a lens here, it is passing through the glass and going here, and here another optical system, finally giving you the picture on the display here. The other device is just the other way around, apparently, works in the reverse direction, and it is all, apparently. On the top we have what seems to be, it is quite hard to open, but a cover with provision for an optional equipment. I do not know what it is, because if I open this, try to, it is just an empty slot, but there is a connector here at the back. So probably you can fit something else on the top. Maybe just a printer or something like this to print out your lens characteristics. Should be yes, maybe. Maybe when you will print the glass, at the same time it will print your receipt with the characteristics of the lens. Some kind of an Allen key here in the cover. Very bad IKEA style Allen key. Not sure if it is original to the device or not. So let's take it apart completely. Anyways, I do not want to keep this device. It is too bulky, and really I have no space for such stuff. I guess first I will try to remove all the body panels. I did already remove one here, and it appears this part here is just clipped in place, like so. It will go off like this, and already here we can see some, so the connector I was speaking about, for a printer obviously. Motor here, this one is responsible for the printing on the glass action, and here you can see the little latching mechanism for the lens holder. Here we have what seems to be an optical mirror holder piece with adjustments. So this thing has all flavor of screws. We have Allen, we have metric, and we have posi drive at least, and regular Phillips here at the back. So here at the back, a zoom for you on the manufacturer label. Yes, Essilor, famous brand of eyeglasses and opticians equipment. Type X 8000040, 80,000. Serial number 094115, rated for 20 watts and made in France. Very good. Let's undo this cover for the bulb real quick. So here we have Phillips screws, but they are not original. I did replace them myself because they were bad, the screws. Okay, little plastic cover, and actually one more screw to undo that will enable me to lower the bulb, move the bulb, not sure, even. Ah, you can adjust. Yes, it is an adjustment, okay. Because you need to, it is a incandescent light, like this, still hot, like the old halogen bulbs in IKEA lamps, desktop lamps from the back in the time. So it is still hot, it is just a little bulb like this, and yes, you can adjust it in all directions to find the perfect optical center of a light source to have the whole device working properly. Okay, so let's continue with other things at the front. So with the top part done, the two side panels here are already coming loose, more or less. We have to undo this part for the... It is a part you can adjust back and forward, like this, to fit your eyeglasses frame, I believe, with this button. It is mounted on two linear rails, and it will move like this. But I do not think it is doing anything else than just giving you a rest. Something to rest your eyeglasses frame against. The other one has the same thing, so it must be useful. Okay, nice aluminium piece here, by the way. And let's now undo. So we have one button here for this, with metric Allen screw. So nice button on this one. Actually is also made of aluminium. So always good to retrieve. So two covers here are just cosmetic covers, hiding one more Allen screw. They go in the waste. We use for them because I do not plan to keep those big buttons. Anyways, too big. And if I just undo this, one done. the other one real quick and we will figure out what to do next. So it will reveal, and doing so will reveal two screws here apparently to remove the whole front part. So let's do it now and then I will undo the back. And after this I have no idea because I did not take it apart any further for now. So here, very simple, two Phillips and the whole front panel will hinge, I believe, like this. Okay, we are already seeing. So here we'll just have a PCB for the buttons on the LEDs, the display. Glass here is tempered glass apparently, very nice. And we have what seems to be a very serious die-cast metal construction. The viewfinder thing here, and look at this. Wow, this is pretty already. I can see big brass gears and one precision potentiometer here. Beautiful. So if I turn this, it is moving something in here. So there is a hand stop here, so you cannot turn any further. Yes, okay. Little bit hard, but it is doing this. On the other side, we have a linear gear here going up and down. We will see it better after I take it further apart. So it is moving something here up and down. Okay. Very good. Let's real quick get rid of the front panel because apparently, excuse me, it is just connected. There is one wire here for the keyboard and display, and it is coming off. Okay, so here it is just a regular display module, apparently LCD display module with backlight. Hitachi microcontroller made by Sharp. Okay, I will retrieve it, but it is not necessary to do it now. There is apparently some hot glue here, probably to prevent any dust falling inside this area, but it did not work so well, it seems. I will just pop out this keyboard PCB because there is something fun. Big plastic clip. Wow. It was easier the first time. Okay. Again a connector. You can see the three LEDs are not well aligned anymore. There is nothing guiding them in the correct direction when you install the PCB, so you have really to be very careful. The four buttons are now loose here, and it is interesting to notice they did use each time two push buttons in parallel for more reliable operation apparently. Okay, nothing else to see here except those parts. It is a rubber seal actually. Okay, they did glue it like this, and it is a rubber seal mating with where are they? Excuse me, with the body of a button here to prevent dust ingress apparently. Okay, maybe they can be reused for something. They are not bad. except this one is still pretty well glued in place. Okay, I put this aside and we should be able to continue with, I guess, the rear panel. So this rear part is secured first by the rubber feet. I need to undo them in order to be able to slide out this part because the rubber feet are glued on the main base plate here. And we have a tiny Allen screws here, countersunk. Very interesting. Why they did mix so many kind of screws. Okay, a few more of them here. I will just lower a little bit for you, like this. And we will finish with two, I guess they're posi drives in here. So this piece is the tape is for a crack in the plastic. Obviously the plastic did suffer from the heat of the bulb and it became quite brittle. Okay, here is what it is looking inside, and again here there is a mesh, very thin mesh to prevent dust going in. No information about the kind of plastic and no molding stamps. Okay, what does it reveal? It does reveal the IEC plug, the power transformer here at the bottom, and a big mirror piece here at the back with apparently, look at this, the two screws here were secured in some super serious aluminium part. Wow, it is probably most of the weight of this device, which is not far from 10 kilos. It is a very sturdy aluminium frame, it seems. Okay, so I did never take it apart so far, and actually seems it is just a matter of moving around the parts, and it is coming off this side part. The other one should be the same, revealing a little bit more of device construction. Okay, quite easy actually. And now we are seeing a little bit better. So there is this assembly here, this part here for the glass piece, the wall aluminium construction here, the linear latch system. I will zoom on it for you. On this side, like this. On the other side, the motor to lower the printing mechanism that will turn and do things like this. Okay, so there is of course a mains electronics board at the bottom, and I should be able to undo now the two last panels here. Actually here we have a broken retainer part, so it is already more or less this. Here you can see there is a broken screw, not doing anything anymore. So yes, really the whole plastics became brittle on this thing. The heat of the light source must be to blame for this, and also just because it is all plastic, so it should come Yes, like this. Revealing the wall optical setup. So can I power it another time and reveal the light path, or I will use a light source, it will be safer. So if I undo the other screw here, just 1 second, the other side is the same. Ah, broken also here at the top, interesting. It could come off. Maybe, maybe not. Oops. Not what I was planning, but wow. It is just breaking off like old crackers. Look at this. Okay. Very, very bad plastic. Yes. Wow. So it is going to the junk. This. Okay. Quite good. We are now seeing the complete internal construction. So I will redo the action here for you with the buttons. So this one is rotating this assembly that must contain the cross pattern. Okay. And this one will move another part up and down like this. Okay, you can see the overall construction, mirror here at the bottom, lance here, mirror here at the back, and more parts to undo. So what next? I will undo this top section here, maybe it will reveal useful things. There is a wall flat cable here snaking around. So I will undo this top part. Loosen the connector. Wow. At least some good hardware to retrieve. But quite a little bit how you doing, I think. It is a device you find in every optician store, so it is a mass production device. But okay, cover here with 4 posi drive this time. It will not be necessary, I guess, to take everything completely apart, except if I want to find out the target piece with a cross pattern. Okay, this is coming off. You have a mix of retainers and double-sided tape here with this steel piece. A lot of parts already. So the 2 rails here to allow the part, the black plate. Okay, just came right off like this, full of grease by the way, and we can continue. So here is your second precision potentiometer for the other axis. It is here. Okay, what to do next? I did reveal here nothing more than 1 more mirror glued in place. There is here the one mirror with a precision adjustment to transfer the light vertically. The little motor that I will unplug, it is sharing the same cables and the printer option. And Okay, I will undo this front piece here with reference grid thing. Just 4 screws apparently. It will reveal one more mirror. No shortage of optical mirrors, at least in this device. Like such. Okay, coming off. As you can see, more of the internal construction. This is some kind of polycarbonate piece, plastic. I will take a light, if I find a light, and try to shine instead of a light bulb for you. Does it give anything interesting? Not really, because the case is all open, so on too much light, but the travel of a light source, not sure. Ah, there is one mirror here at the back, here. So it is shining apparently, yes, like this, through this mirror, transferring to the back mirror here. Then, I am not sure. Somewhere else it ends up here at the top, on this one, and then goes vertically. And here you shine another times. The last one is the back, the one at the bottom, and it will go on the target screen. Okay, let's continue with revealing the electronics maybe, because we did see most of the stuff here. I would like to undo this piece at least. It will be a lot of further disassembly, but I am trying to check out how it is secured in place. Okay. We have 4 Allen that I will be able to access, excuse me, with undoing this. Whoops. Excuse me for stuff falling. The wall setup here is not super convenient because it is a large item and really so this is coming off and this is coming off. A very nice optical mirror here. Put it in a safe place. Okay, now I can undo this, but I will be annoyed with cables or not. Okay, so I can totally undo. This part. So, an unscrew. And unscrew. So already I see a huge pile of aluminium to sell to the scrapyard. Okay, we are good. So this is coming apart. So it'd be interesting to reveal try to reveal the brand of the potentiometers. Wow, super nice ball bearing. We will have a look at it with a camera mounted overhead. It will be more convenient. Okay, last thing I need to undo here. So here there is just the bulb holder with that seems to be some loss behind it, but first I need to undo the bottom plate because it is in the way and I cannot access the screws. So bottom plate here, For the first time I will see the electronics in this device. Or not. Okay, here just pretty beefy transformer with your mains filter, and it is all of this in a strong steel base. And here we have the electronics board secured by there is another hidden switch here for something. I can see already all through all construction. No surface mount, it seems. Okay, one ribbon cable and this. Interesting. Aha. Okay. I see that codes of 93. Okay. So we are left here with not much to take apart for now. I will just undo this bulb holder part, 2 screws, and which should be good for the main disassembly. Unroute here the flat cable with them here, like such. Okay. So now I will install the camera overhead in order to be able to have a little bit of a better look at some of the parts. So my bench is now a terrible mess with parts everywhere, so I will first have a look here. This part is actually coming off the inking thing. Yes, just a felt inker part. One of the securing devices for it is broken in here. So zoom for you, and again on screws falling every, excuse me, this slash mechanism here. Just very simple like this. Nice linear bearing thing. I will see if it is possible to retrieve it. The ones from the previous teardown, the video projector, were too much custom and not possible to reuse for anything. So there is a lance here, assembly, secured in place in some way. Optical lance here, mirror here at the top with your adjustments to for the factory settings. It will move a little bit the mirror at the other side. You can see here the motor assembly for the printing action system, and a lot of extra screws to undo for me later on. The main mirror here at the bottom is actually glued with epoxy. Thank you very much. It will be fun to undo this one. If I want to sell the aluminium, obviously I need to remove all the bad stuff on it, but wow, maybe with a Dremel. Yes, it is epoxy all around, apparently very hard. Maybe I can push and it will separate, but it will be quite fun. Those cable retainers are well average old. I do not think I will retrieve them. I will reuse them at least. one more Allen screw here and here to save. That was good. Okay, so I think it is all for this frame. There is one brass gear in here for the adjustment action of the. Maybe I can just pull it or not. Not sure. There is no hole at the other side, so it must come this side, but it should require some kind of an extractor action. Okay, I will deal with it later. Some foam here and of course precise machined parts here to align your main optical part. So I will put this on the side. Excuse me. One more screw falling. And a look at the light bulb thing. Actually it is quite nice. I might want to keep this one. It is just a 12 volt bulb with a lens in front of it. So why not? Regular connector. Why not keeping this? Just for the purpose of taking some space in my storage. Yes. So there is a lens here on the airflow thing. Vents. Okay, because obviously it will eat quite a lot. Okay, the electronics. What do we have? One wired connector like this, and well, power supply I guess is this side here. Yes, we have 5 volts regulator on the in-sync, a bridge rectifier, some smoothing capacitor, and it is all. Negative 5 here, positive 5 here, and positive 5 here. One relay to enable. Seems it is the connector to the bulb here. And your set of ICs. I have no clue of what this one is. Crystal oscillator here, 4 MHz it seems. It is written 4000,00. But the main show here is the CPU, Z80 CPU from ST Microelectronics, so French brand, but made in Malta, and sadly enough it is not socketed. ROM EEPROM here with the software. I will dump it probably. Some auxiliary IC here, I guess it is RAM for the processor. This also from Hyundai and NEC. We have all brands in this really. We have Philips capacitor, Motorola, well, the German brand for the relay, ST Microelectronics, National Semiconductor, your old school firecrackers, tantalum caps, ST Micro, this I do not know, what else, Texas Instruments, Hyundai, not common at all to see a Hyundai chip. Okay, on Motorola. Okay, nice board. Other side, just the tracks, very old school 90s design, obviously. Yes, it is written here 92, 93. Okay. So the other device must be from the 80s, the other. I will take apart later on. It is much older. Okay. So, nice board, but Not sure what to do with it for now, except reading the EEPROM here maybe. So what do we have else? We are down to the main optical core of the device with super nice brass parts, you can see. This is, we have a cover here and two, wow, this is must be the linear bearing, so super nice bearing here for the vertical part, but it is not all because we have a linear bearing here secured by many positive drive screws. So let me try to do this. I got this item on a classified website for, well, maybe I overpaid, it was 50 euros, but I really wanted to take one of those apart. And then 2 weeks later on eBay I found the older device for 10 euros. So 10 euros is alright. This one was maybe a little bit overpriced, but there is good hardware, there is the metal I will sell, aluminium and brass probably. All the fun of taking it apart. It is not coming so far. Let me undo this. So, I guess your yes, the pattern is in here. Okay, I will undo it. The cross pattern is in this part here. And I did not find so far what is doing the green color, because obviously the bulb is not green. So is it coming off? Almost, because there is the belt in here. Okay. Okay, not totally yet because of a belt, but given the condition it is, you know what? Close your eyes. No belt. Okay, so super nice brass gear here. Wow, quite dirty, need to clean it, but it will go in my eBay steampunk pile. I am making and selling every 2 or 3 years. The last one did sell quite well, easily at least, for the first attempt I believe. So let me undo the tape here and reveal the brand of this potentiometer. So precision potentiometer with mounting like this, like in aircraft instruments in fact. Go into this connector by MCB France. First time I see this brand. So more further disassembly required here. I will just get rid of the wires, no need for them. Okay, so this will be further processing, and we are left with the other one, same brand actually, again MCB France. This one is secured on this bracket by 2 more not impressive at all positive drive screws. I do not like them very much. And here to undo this part actually, Ah, you know what? We have two set screws here, hidden here at the back. So I need to turn this around the other side to reveal the other screw. Posi drive set screw. Okay. And it will come off like this. So nice precision potentiometer to retrieve air and dirty fingers. Wow. So there is grease everywhere. You can see the little set screws here and your main linear bearing here. Does it come off this thing? Like this. Wow. Okay. Self-contained assembly, but we are losing the balls here. Here is a matching part. Here, and why not use slotted screws here? Why not? So the manufacturing team will require one more set of screwdriver. Okay, the other side of this thing, oil and grease everywhere. This is almost coming off now. I will need to figure out how to remove the bearing. Maybe I can just push it. There should be a set screw or something somewhere. Interesting. I can undo the top part here containing the cross pattern thing. Let me find the correct screwdriver. I have here one more set of Allen. So some calibration sticker here on the side, or characteristics, or something like this. Okay. And find which other YouTuber has the same kind of aluminium screwdriver when he does his teardowns. Someone who loves playing with cheap and dangerous Chinese stuff. Okay, does it come off? There is this plastic part here. Let me try to. Okay. Here we are, and I do not see anymore the cross pattern thing. Where is it? Ah. Maybe it's in here, but actually it is super tiny. Not sure. Wow. I do not see also the red filter. Maybe it is in the top optic. Okay, it will come off this if I undo the... Let's do it. The two Allens here, so it is typically here the kind of application where you want ball head Allen. If it is not totally aligned, it will help a lot. Okay, so this I have no idea of how to deal with it. Maybe it is screwed in some way or something. It is not coming off, but this is coming off with super nice. So it is the other parts of the linear ball bearings here, like this. Super nice brass gear here. Wow, beautiful part. And you can see how they did the rails for the balls actually are just two metal rods secured by it seems posi drive, or is it glued in place? What are the screws doing here? Interesting. Very dirty stuff. So this will require investigation to find out how I can undo this, or maybe it's just a matter of green thing to remove. Let me just try it real quick with the wrong screwdriver because my posi drive did fall on the ground. Ah, no, it is here. Okay. Okay, much better. So there is one more bearing here. Probably tiny set screw in here to undo. Here we are. I was not expecting this. Look at this. If I take my light, see if it works, look at this. Here is our green cross. Okay. Very tiny. Actually, maybe 3 or 4 millimeters. Not more than this. Okay, and there is a 3D ring here with set screws that if I undo, it should allow to remove this part and extract the bearing and everything. Okay, but it will not be necessary to do it on camera. For here, I will need actually 0.89 millimeters Allen wrench. So those are not common. I purchased them on radio spares, over expensive, but they came by set of 5. So you have part number here for radio spares, and actually I have a whole set of special miniature sizes that you do not find in regular set of Allen wrench. And when you deal with little stuff like this, really you want them. It is not really metric, not really imperial, weird sizes, but you really need. Look, you have, is it insane? You have 156 and 127 millimeters. You almost cannot tell the difference with the naked eye, but it is a big difference. Okay, so let me try to check if it is the correct size. Maybe the first time I actually use them. Yes, wow, very easy actually. And it is a set screw allowing to undo this part. There is some kind of a clutch piece here with spring washers and some kind of plastic washer. So you will tighten more or less and it will be more or less easy to turn the whole assembly. Okay, one more factory adjustment obviously. And is it the same size I need for here? Yes. Wow. Really impressive. And if you do not have the correct size of tool, you will destroy your set screw and the whole thing is ruined. Because you cannot take it apart. You cannot even retrieve your set screw. Really. I will just take this one. I keep set screws also. You never know where you will need one. Very tiny. Okay. and it should maybe allow me to do something that will wrap this video. If it is working, take these pliers and try to unscrew. No, it is tight. I need to use either it is tight or I did not undo all the set screws. Sorry. We have, I was expecting to find 2, but no, we have 4. Wow. So very good hardware in this thing. I hope the other device will be good also. I'm not sure the amount here, maybe it is even 6. We are good, we are good, we are good, we are good. Okay. Let me immediately put back this wrench in storage because it is precious. Okay. And no, still not coming, so I will need a vise and everything. But you get the idea. Okay, so I guess it will wrap this video. A lot of things to deal with. Obviously, a lot of parts. The most annoying will be the plastic to throw away and the metal to sell to the recycling, but at least it will bring some money. So, thanks for watching and stay tuned sometime soon for the next device, the other Photo Franco meter. Bye bye.